I think I just want to transition here a little bit. We've been talking a lot about the Hebrew Israelites. So I think for people, I mean, obviously people who listen to what you say all the time, they're going to know who the Hebrew Israelites are. But for people who listen to my show, listen to different things that I'll talk about, I don't even know personally that much about who the Hebrew Israelites are. So could you just go into a little bit of detail about who these Hebrew Israelites are, where they came from, where they are now, things like that?
Yeah, the first time you see this group appear is right after Reconstruction. So that's in the period of American history, right after the Civil War. That's the first time you get people saying, hey, actually, Black Americans are the true Israelites. That's kind of the central thesis there, which is not actually heretical in itself. It's more of a matter of history. The problem is it acts as sort of a magnet, which tends to attract all other kinds of heresies, such as the Judaizing tendencies and a massive confusion about the nature and function of the old and new covenants, is as if the books of Galatians and Hebrews and Romans do not exist in the Bible. And indeed, some Hebrew Israelites kick Paul out of the canon. So Hebrew Israelites then went on, and you see another little growth explosion right after World War I. 1919 is a big important, a lot of stuff happened there, especially in New York, especially in Harlem. Then you give it 50 years and you see another growth explosion. It's 1969, so kind of late civil rights era. So if you notice, these are all times of social upheaval and change, especially for the relevant communities involved. And then you see the kind of recent upsurge recently, kind of midway through Obama's presidency, and it really has to do more with the rise of social medias coming to the forefront more and more of American pop culture, along with the advent of social wait, did I say social media? What I meant is social issues coming to the forefront, along with the ability to access social media. So it's kind of social media plus social issues equals this last kind of late 2000s surge. The central thesis is Black folks in America are actually the true Israelites. And the second part of that identity doctrine, as it's sometimes called, is that there are salvific implications, ecclesiastical implications, meaning there are theological implications for that idea, the fact that, hey, Black folks are the true Israelites that the Bible speaks of. And so you'll have some say, hey, that means, like ISUPK will say, in the future, vocab is going to be my literal slave. He's going to literally pick my cotton, literally make my coffee, which I'm Italian, so I don't have any problem making espresso for a guy, and he's going to literally sign my shoes and literally mop my floor, right? And then others will say, no. Non-Israelites. So Zach, you look like a non-Israelite. Hebrew Israelite might say, non-Israelites can be brothers with us. They just need to be grafted in and not presume to teach us, because that goes against God's protocol. So no authority over us. They could teach other Gentiles. They can come in, but they sort of get grafted in, and they have to really go through us. And so the mediator essentially gets replaced, Jesus, and essentially becomes a Hebrew Israelite. And then there's a variety of Hebrew Israelism within that. There's forms that look more essentially like Judaism, and there's forms that look closer to Christianity. There's forms that say it's just Black folks, and there's forms that say Hispanics, Native Americans also get added onto who we deem to be Israel. There's forms which adopt their own certain kind of special Hebrew language, which is not really Hebrew at all, called Lashawan Kodash. And there's all this happening, and the thing is growing, it's splitting, and there's a poll that came out by Lifeway Research. There's an evangelical research group right now that said that 4% of Black Americans identify as Hebrew Israelites. And if that's true, that equals, depending on which demographic you look at, but at least 1.5 million people in the United States of America who say, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. That's a significant number. Now, does that mean they're all organized and all going to Hebrew Israelite, camps or schools? No, a lot of them actually are in churches. And again, if all it was an identity claim, it wouldn't be a big deal. We could talk about that. But it gets wrapped up in other issues, such as salvific issues, ecclesiastical issues, and bad theology starts to follow, because people start to discount key chunks of the New Testament, sometimes even altogether, and then have this kind of mutilated understanding of what happens in the New Covenant, along with a mismatched variety understanding of the Old, and you get some major problems, denial of the And